Hi, everyone. I finally compiled the assets and the information needed to wrap up our portrait assignment. So you will see a couple different things within the module. I have edited some details within the portrait assignment. I'll go over that in a moment. But most of all, under the resources, you're going to have a trading card template zip file. This is, you absolutely have to use this for the trading card. I also have a reference example of what the trading card will in fact look like once you get your information in there. But also incredibly important is this trading card print setup. So this is what we need to follow along once you finish your file. It must be placed in here exactly as is, or your artwork will get trimmed incorrectly. You're going to end up crop marks where they weren't supposed to be, or crops where you didn't intend crops to be. So again, you must use this template and you must set up exactly as is here. Not only will it be lost grades, but your artwork will not be printed properly and trimmed properly. So a couple of edits that we have within the assignment is originally we had our poster, which was just 11 by 17, and then we had a typographical element that we were including on the postcard. What we're actually doing is we're going to include that typographical element within the poster as well, but not the main poster. It's going to now be double-sided. So we will have our poster 11 by 17 with our portrait. Page 2, we're going to have a dupe of that portrait, and we're also going to include that type element in there. So you can see on a second artboard, we're going to duplicate our poster and we're going to add a typographical element in there. Pardon me. Once we are done, we can see within here, we're going to save a high-res PDF with bleeds and crops and ensuring that we have our 2 pages in there. If this is an issue, including your type element within your portrait, please feel free to discuss with me about how we can resolve, as this was kind of a variation, but again, it was to be included on the postcard, and now we're just including it on the picture as an option 2 or a side 2. The next thing we are adding is the trading card. So again, as I showed you at the beginning, there is a trading card template zip file. You are not to change anything on that first page. The intention is that we're all going to have a consistent look and feel for our postcard. So once we input everything onto page 1, you're going to have page 2, which you will have free range here. You can add any details you feel a future employer would love to see. So rating your Creative Cloud skills, perhaps, a blurb about you, a website or Instagram link, a QR code if you would like, and then we're going to save that as a PDF with bleeding crop marks. Very important with bleeding crops. Then we're having, then we include our trading card print setup, which is again on 11 by 17. And again, it must be set up exactly as that file provided that I showed you in the module, or else you will end up with a file that's incorrectly set up. Okay. Let's now work on let's look at our template. So again, when you open up that zip file, you're going to end up with a grayscale template. Your grayscale template, we're going to input our photo in here, obviously deleting this text. We're going to put our first name and last name here. Again, do not move the text boxes. Try not to move anything at all. The only modification you will obviously need to do is to edit to your information. If your first or last name exceeds the space allotted here, feel free to bring your font size down. But again, it should be all in caps, first name, then last name, occupation, and any fun statistic that you would like to include. Again, on page 2, you're welcome to include any professional stat you would like to have in there. Have a little bit of fun with it. I'll just show you, for instance, what mine would look like. So here is my my portrait, my name, visual designer, some fun stats. And then on the back, again, there's no actual details here, but I just added a little frame in there, what I'm good at. And this is where I could put all my details. You can go ahead and probably add things you would add to your resume, do whatever you would like in there. Obviously, we have a small amount of real estate, so ensuring your font sizes is readable and accessible, but put what you would like. So once we have completed this, what we would do then is we are going to export this as a PDF. And we're going to choose press quality, and we want to make sure we have crop marks and we have bleed marks, and then we go ahead and export. Then what we do is we're going to create an 11 by 17 document, not facing pages. We're going to press create. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing that we will absolutely need in there. 11 by 17, not facing pages, but we do need 1/2 inch margin. So I'm going to just add a picture box that I can import into anywhere at this time. I'm going to Command D to place my artwork. So I'll just use my own to start. So again, ensuring that when I click on my trading card, it will have the crop marks and the bleed. Again, you will not have a bleed on the front, but you're welcome to add one to the back if you would like. We need to make sure we have show import options checked on. And then when we press open, we may need to make an adjustment here. I believe on default, this is going to say crop to art. We need to make sure that this is cropped to media. When we see that little preview, we need to make sure that the media is including all of the crop marks. Important. And we have page 1, pressing OK. Just going to adjust that frame so it fits to content. I'm going to hit my white arrow. I'm going to click, and I just want to make sure that this has been imported at 100%. Incredibly important as well. If this is even 1% off, you're going to end up with an error when printing and cropping. So I've got that in there. It's at 100%. I'm going to go ahead and hinge that into the top left corner at the 1/2 inch mark. And we're going to have 5 of these across. So I'm just going to option drag, and I'm going to get 5 of those in there. And again, hinging that right one over into the top right mark, ensuring it is sitting at 16.5 and 0.5. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select all of those, and I'm going to evenly distribute, making sure we are evenly distributing to our selection, not to our page, because again, we need to make sure it's sitting within our 1/2 inch margins. Then I can select all of those, option click, and I'm going to just drag those down. I'm going to hinge those to the very bottom, and we're done. Page 1. Once I have this in here and ensuring, again, everything is even, everything is placed in the tops and bottom corners, I'm going to go ahead over to my page, and I'm going to dupe that page. Now I'm going to import page 2. So I'm going to, you can do this a couple ways. I'm going to click that first artboard or art piece of artwork, and I'm going to Command D. I'm going to bring up my postcard again, but this time again, making sure it says media, hitting page 2, and I'm going to press OK. I can go ahead and import that another 9 times, but because it's a fairly simple setup and should be pretty foolproof, I'm just going to do it again and dragging those down. So what we should see when we click from page 1 to page 2 is those crop marks, and nothing in there should be moving. Once we are done this, we're going to export this print setup as a PDF. Once we set this up as a PDF, I just want press quality. We do not want crop marks or bleed marks on this file. And press export, and we are done. It should, again, look a lot like the example in our module trading card print setup. And here we are. Good luck.